So Bill Belichick spent 2-3 minutes yesterday talking about Russell Wilson. I've said this for years. Steve Young and Russell Wilson were great, but there were circumstances around them that people didn't acknowledge it. Joe Montana, Bill Walsh, that's all we talked about, and Jerry Rice. And so by the time Steve Young got there, he had no chance. He was unbelievable. But Walsh is a genius. You'll never be Joe Montana. Russell Wilson walks in with a very popular coach, Pete Carroll, Marshawn Lynch. The defense had a Legion of Boom. And all of a sudden it's like, oh, Russell Wilson. By year 2, it was Russell's team. He was the reason they were winning. Pete Carroll had been fired twice in the NFL, 14-18 in Seattle. Russell, he had defense. He had Marshawn. Russell changed everything. And so Belichick has faced him 3 times. Twice, Russell Wilson has beat the coach in the NFL, Bill Belichick, who humiliates young quarterbacks. Russell has owned Belichick. Should have beaten him a 3rd time. If not for one pass, he'd be 3-0 against him. That's the Malcolm Butler pick. So, Belichick doesn't talk about anybody. Yesterday, on and on and on and on about Russell Wilson, who Bill faces this week. To me, there's just 2 tiers of them. There's the oh my God tier. There's 3 guys. Russell Wilson, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson. They do stuff you can't prepare for. They're absurdly dynamic. It doesn't matter what your game plan is. And they're all, this is key, they're all getting better. They're all getting better. The next group is what I would call special. They've carried teams. They can still carry them. They're unbelievable. They're going to be Hall of Famers. But there's an age issue, a durability issue, maybe a little bit of an attitude issue, too many bad halves. Deshaun Watson's not quite, I think, a little too inconsistent. And that would be my special group, and that is Aaron Rodgers would be the first one in it. Breeze, Brady, Ben, Deshaun, and Carson Wentz. Everybody else in the league, if I'm a general manager and you call me up, I'd take the call. I like Garoppolo, but I'd take the phone call. I mean, they took the phone call. They were going to get Tom Brady for him. Everybody else in this league, even guys that are pretty good, right? Like we think Jimmy Garoppolo is pretty good. Some of you do, some of you don't. I'd take a phone call. I'm not taking phone calls on those guys. I take a phone call. The only other player, in fact, and I need about a half dozen more games. That's it. I need about 6 more football games. The only other guy that I think is in that, and very soon, is Kyler Murray. He's doing it, and here's what's impressive about him. They're not babysitting him. They've given him the playbook. Carry us. 40 throws, go. They've given him, it's the Andrew Luck thing. We're not real good. Carry us. Teams will tell you what, if they really respect you. Like the New York Giants got Eli Manning. Good luck. Here's the playbook. The Colts got Andrew Luck. Good luck. Arizona, Kyler Murray. Here it is. Save us. When Big Ben came into the league, the Steelers did some babysitting for 2 years. He didn't throw. Phillip Rivers came in the league. His organization didn't let him throw. And those guys are going to get, Big Ben's great. But when Big Ben came in the league, the Steelers are like, why don't you we'll run the football a lot. We'll play defense. Kyler Murray, and again, I'm one of 8 people in America that watches all Arizona Cardinal games, there are things he does that are just, there's nothing you can do. And he's not close yet to what he's going to be. My guess is, and Mahomes said this last year, Mahomes is like, I just figured out how to read a defense. Russell Wilson told me one time, he's like, year 3, midway through it, I'm like, oh, light goes on. And Russell's got, pretty sharp dude, right? Like it does take time to see every coverage like 3 times. So you can just identify stuff. To me, Kyler Murray is the next guy to get into that group. He is really something, man. Bruce Arians criticized Tom Brady. I like to plan stuff. I'm not a go with your gut guy. I don't like politicians who just make it up as they go. I like politicians who read and are curious. I like coaches who plan stuff. I just don't even on this show, people have said, oh, Colin, you got so many notes. I just don't think winging it is good television. Bill Maher is one of my favorite shows. He doesn't wing it. Rachel Maddow doesn't wing it. Carson Tucker, they don't wing it. They have plan, and they sit all day and they write and they write and they write. Whether I agree with them or not, I'm not a wing it person. That's just not my thing. Bruce Arians is a little bit of a wing it guy sometimes. Bill Belichick plans for everything. Everything. And we're now seeing the difference between Belichick and Bruce Arians. Bruce Arians is asked after a game about Brady and just kind of wings it. Belichick knows the question's coming. On to Cincinnati. And Arians rips Brady pretty harshly. The GOAT questions his determination. Well, question the pick six. Don't question Tom's determination. Brett Favre didn't like it at all. Oh, we saw Pittsburgh. Comment here by Lavian. Comment here by Ben. Unraveled a really talented team. We've seen it with the Cowboys. Comment here, comment there. Unravels a really good team. Noise is bad news in the NFL. You can have a lot of stories and talk in the NBA. It's still a talent league. We're so close with all these teams right now. I mean, Seattle's considered a Super Bowl favorite. They're at home this week. They're a field goal favorite over the rebuilding. They've had Cam for 45 minutes Patriots. Every little thing. So now Tom's going to have to answer questions about this if he goes on a 2-game losing streak. Mike Evans has to answer questions about this. This is now a story. This is how you get cracks in the armor. I don't think it's the end of the world, and Bruce Arians did address this, which is now how many days, Joy? It's 4 days after this little harmless comment, and we're still talking about it. Now, that was a ode to Bill Belichick. It's not just what you and Tom think. It's now Mike Evans will get asked a question if Tom throws another pick six, which, you can say this about Jameis Winston. It just kind of like, okay, whatever. But there is a certain way to handle a LeBron, a Brady, a Breeze. Andy Reid's going to find this out with Mahomes. If Mahomes gets another Super Bowl, now he's got 2 Super Bowls. Now he's got $400 million. It got to be a little more delicate. It's just the reality. Dan Marino, as he aged, gets a little prickly. They can, Aaron Rodgers now, he's been hurt a few times. He can kind of you can see the end coming a little bit. Tom's got a couple years left. So I don't think it's the end of the world, but I think now you have this thing out there. It's a little comment. We're talking about it 4 days later. Everybody's got an opinion on it. You want to stay out of that space. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.